big show in a really, really big, challenging space. But you feel like you've changed. I don't know, there's something different about you. I mean, a settledness or an inquisitiveness and a positiveness.
Yeah, I think the space is quite daunting because it's kind of macho as well and big. And actually, this space isn't macho. I find it quite feminine, but the scale of it, people just expect to see really large work. But for me, I just had to carry on working on what I was thinking in the process.
And the thinking you're thinking is that you're changing, that you've reached, 51, you're changing.
I think I'm going through this, I'm on the third phase of my life.
Yep.
That's how I feel. And I feel that I've got to come to terms with who I am right now and understand that for me to be able to go forward. And I think a lot of my life I've held myself back on things, whether it's making plans for my future, whether it's understanding who I am right now and accepting that. It's more like a feeling of resignation of who I am, and that is coming out through the work.
And this vast space, your biggest painting is this piece.
Yeah, but it's actually not that big in this space, is it? So, but it is a big painting.
A big painting in subject matter too.
Yeah, well, it looks like a landscape, but it isn't. You can see it's actually a woman with her legs open and her jaw pushed back.
But the reclining woman is bleeding.
Well, she is kind of bleeding. This is kind of this whole shape here as well. But if you look, there's another woman. This is like a head and like an arm and like the legs and like the body and like another leg. So she's also kind of like, her legs are splayed, but there's also this other kind of sacrificial woman as well laying there. And I actually now analysing my own painting, thinking, oh God, maybe it's me giving birth to myself or something, or maybe it's me saying goodbye to something and understanding the situation.
You've said, actually quite controversially, I think, that in order to be able to do what you do, you've had to, for whatever reason, lose the idea of having children. And for all sorts of different reasons at different times, the abortion certainly perhaps were one impact of that. I'm also interested in the fact that your mother said to you not to have children.
My mum was, from the age of, as soon as I started having sex, which was pretty young actually, when my mum found out I was having sex, she marched me down to the doctors and made sure I was on the pill. I was 14 then.
But that's a responsible thing to do, to tell you that you shouldn't have children. Do you think that was right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Because I think my life would not be on the level that it is as an individual that it is. I think had I have had children, I would have dedicated everything to those children, everything.
Can you be a great artist and have children as a woman?
Not at the moment, no. I have enough trouble, leaving the house saying goodbye to my cat, let alone, saying goodbye to a child. I would be a really bad mother. I'd either be an incredibly bad artist or an incredibly bad mother. There'd be no compromise.
And then these embroideries, again, looking at yourself in a different way, but on a huge scale.
Yeah.
And this is biggest as you've ever done of these embroideries.
Yeah, this is the biggest embroidery I've ever done, ever. And it doesn't actually look that big here, but this room is colossal, it's ginormous, and this is an exceptionally large work.
What about Tracy Emin in the outside world now? Because I was intrigued when you took a kind of political stand and said that you supported the Conservatives.
I voted Conservative in the last election.
And I wonder what would dictate your vote this time?
Well, one thing is gay marriage, fantastic. It's never going to change. Got it forever and ever and ever. David Cameron will get my vote, definitely, just for that. And I don't think Labour would have done it.
Are you a gentler person now than you were 30 years ago?
I don't know. I think I'm more compassionate. I think I'm more compassionate, and I think, is that fight worth it? Probably not. I won't turn the other way, but God, if it's worth it, will I fight? Yeah, I'll definitely fight for everything I believe in.
Tracy Emin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
In Hong Kong, protesters are still camped outside government headquarters, but not in the vast, brilliantly lit up numbers of before. Many have gone home after a weekend of clashes